Hello students, today in this video we will discuss about the network analysis. So before starting this we should know what is network analysis. Network analysis play a very important role in information theory, the study of transportation problems and the planning and control of research and development projects. As in transportation problem, there are number of routes to reach a terminal, that is the end point. But we like to choose a route for which the cost or time is minimum. That is, there is a problem to select the shortest route through a network. So the problem of network is to find a course of action which minimize some measure of performance. Right. So in this video, we will discuss about introduction of project network, components of project network, rules in constructing a network, how to construct a network, and the sample problem related to a network. So let's start with the introduction of network analysis. Any project involves planning, scheduling, and controlling a number of interrelated activities with use of limited resources, namely man, machines, material, money, and the most important one is the time. So what is a project? Project is a set of interrelated activities, right? With the use of limited resources, and any business organization runs to optimize the profit with the use of limited resources. The projects may be extremely large and complex, such as construction of a housing, a highway, a bridge, a shopping complex, etc. Introduction of new products and research and development projects, etc. It is required that managers must have a dynamic planning and scheduling system to produce the best possible results and also to react immediately to the changing conditions and make necessary changes in the plan and schedule. So, manager have the main responsibility of the manager is to manage the things or to make a decision, right? So if there is any change in external or internal environment, there should be a planning and scheduling according to the changes wherever is required in the project management. A convenient analytical and visual technique of PERT and CPM prove extremely valuable in assisting the managers in managing the project. So, to manage the project, a team of scientists have discovered two techniques which is known as PERT and CPM. Now, what is PERT? PERT stands for Project Evaluation and Review Technique. Right? And what is a project? Project is a graphical presentation of a set of activities. The PERT technique was developed during 1950s. The technique was developed and used in conjunction with the planning and designing of the Polaris missile project. The second technique is CPM. Now, what is CPM? CPM stands for Critical Path Method, which was developed by DuPont Company and applied first to the construction projects in the chemical industry. So in chemical industry, while they were constructing a construction project, there is a need of scheduling and to find the best path. Though both PERT and CPM techniques have similarity, but there is a difference. Basically, in project management, we have to find out that the duration of the project, that at how many time, in how much time the project will be completed, right? In CPM, basically, there is a single time, that is, the time is a fixed, or you can say that CPM is a deterministic model where the time is certain. Whereas in the second technique, that is PERT, we estimate the time on the basis of the three times, right? So PERT is our probabilistic time. We are not actually certain, or we can say the time is uncertain. We just make a probability that in how much time the project can be completed. So there are three time estimates. The three time there is, first is the pessimistic time. It is denoted by TP. Pessimistic, that is, if everything goes well, then in how much time the project can be completed. Second is the most likely time. That is, if everything goes normal, then how much time the project will take. And third one is the optimistic time. Optimistic, that is positive approach. If everything goes well, then in how much minimum time the project will take in completion, right? So we will discuss later on what is this PERT and CPM in detail. Now, as we discussed in the first slide, there are three phases in project management. The first is planning. Planning involves setting the objectives of the project. So first is the to identify the objective. We have to set the objectives, identifying various activities to be performed and determining the requirement of resources such as man, material, machine, etc. The cost and time for all the activities are estimated. That is, कितना एक्सपेंस आएगा और कितने समय में ये एक्टिविटी पूरी हो सकती है. That is why we construct a network, and it shows a sequential interrelationship. Sequential, that is predecessor and successor. Predecessor, that is first one, and successor, that is after completing the first activity, what is the next between various activities during the planning stage. Second is scheduling. Based on the time estimates, the start and finish time for each activity are worked out by applying forward and backward pass techniques. And on this basis, critical path is identified. After planning and scheduling, the third phase comes, that is controlling. Controlling refers to analyzing and evaluating the actual progress against the plan. Reallocation of resources, crashing and review of projects with periodical project or reports are carried out. The next is, what are the components of PERT or CPM network? There are two major components in a project network. The first one is the activity and second is event. With these two components, we can construct a project or network. Now first, what is the activity? An activity represents an action and consumption of resources. It may be time, it may be money, it may be energy, it may be machinery, it may be man, etc. required to complete a portion of a project. Activity is represented by an arrow. So while we construct a network, we represent the activity with the help of this arrow. So here, this A represents the activity which consume the time, the manpower, the money, the machinery, etc. Second is event. An event or node will always occur at the beginning or at the end of an activity. The event has no resources and is represented by a circle. So the starting point of an activity is called the tail event, and the ending point of any activity is known as the head event, and it is represented with the help of a circle. Now there are two types of events, merge and burst event. If one or more activities merge or meet at a node or an event, this is known as merge. And if any activities burst more than one activities at a point, then it is known as burst event. Activities are also three types. The first is preceding and succeeding activity. Preceding, as we discussed earlier, the activity starting point is known as the preceding. As in this example, we can see that A is the preceding activity of C, right? And B is the preceding activity of D, right? C and D are the succeeding activities. The next one is dummy activity. Dummy meaning any imaginary activity which does not consume any resource and time is known as a dummy activity. Dummy we just use to represent a connection between the event, and it is represented by the dotted line. As you can see here in this example, this is just we have joined with the help of dotted lines to connect the activity B and C. After this, there are the rules in constructing a network. That is, no activity can be repeated. Second, the starting event is numbered by 1 and the ending event will always represented by a highest number. Third, in assigning numbers to events, there should not be any duplication of event numbers. Fourth, dummy activity must be used only whenever there is a requirement. And the last, a network should have only one start event and one event. After this, look at a sample problem, that is, draw a network for a house construction project. The sequence of activities with their predecessor are given. So in this problem, let's see, there is a description of activity. We have to construct a house, right? Now we have to make a planning. There are three phases as we discussed: planning, scheduling, and controlling. So planning is we have to sequencing the steps, that is prepare the house plan. So there are total 6 activity A to F. Second is construct the house, then fix the door or windows, then wiring the house, paint the house, and the last is polish the door or windows. So we have to find the time this is solved by the CPM. The time is fixed, right? The time duration is given. So here there is a deterministic model. And a start and finishing event are given, that is A activity, it will be completed 1 to 2 and it takes 4 days. Let's see how to solve this problem. We have to construct a network of this problem. So here, starting and finish 1 to 2 event, there is an activity A and it takes 4 days. Then 2 to 3, there is an activity B which takes 58 days. So B activity we have presented by the help of an arrow, and the event are presented with the help of a circle. So here there is a first, that is predecessor event is 1 and the ending event is 6, that represent the higher number. Then after completing third, there are 2 activities start from the third point, that is C and D. So we represented here C and D, and the time is given in both 2 days. Then after completing the fourth, there is an activity E which ends at the point 6. This is 6 and 5 is the preceding activity of the event 6 and it is represented by F activity. So this is the network diagram of a house construction project. This is all about the network construction. In the next video, we will discuss about how to find the critical path with the help of critical path method. All right. Thank you so much.